The New York Giants are addicted to losing, and until they make major changes, they will continue to do what they do best, which is lose. If you want there to be major changes, if you want the Giants to fire Brian Daboll, fire Joe Schoen, clean house, and start a new era, hopefully, of winning football games, hit that like button right now. This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. It is another doomsday of a Monday, except it is even worse because the New York Giants have not fired Brian Daboll. They have not fired Joe Schoen. They have not fired Brian Daboll. All of them. They all have a job, which tells me they are okay with losing, and that is a major problem. I watched the film yesterday. I took a deep dive into the statistics of that game and of this season. And after watching this show, you're going to feel 100 times worse about the loss. Let's start with this. 2-8 this year. 3-19 in their last 22 games. 5-22 in their last 27 games. And they are 5-17-1 in the NFC East. That is what Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll are as the duo of the New York Giants. They are the best losing duo in the National Football League. And as their time as the decision makers for the New York Giants, they are 20-40-1. They have lost double the amount of games that they have won. Since they took over as the head coach and the general manager, they have the fourth worst record in the National Football League. But the losses that they are suffering this year are somehow different than the other, 2-9? So the other 31 losses that they have suffered together. They are now inventing ways to lose football games. Good teams find ways to win. Bad teams find ways to lose. The New York Giants, they invent ways to lose football games. You had nearly a 95% win probability to beat the Dallas Cowboys in the fourth quarter, and you lost. You had a 99.8% win probability versus the Denver Broncos, and you lost. And yesterday, you had a 96.9% win probability versus the Chicago Bears, and you lost. We all have seen the scoreboards of the losses, and I look at them today, and I still don't understand how they happen. It feels like it's not real because it doesn't seem real. You have blown 4 double-digit leads on the road this year. You are 0-4 when you are up by 10 points on the road this year. You lost to the Cowboys. You lost to the Saints. You lost to the Broncos. And you lost to the Bears. The New York Giants have now lost 11 straight games on the road. A franchise record. You know how hard it is to set a record for this franchise? Considering they've been a franchise for 101 years. The Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen Giants are the darkest and worst days of the New York Giants. It is unreal. I wanted to figure out how hard it was and what was the probability that the New York Giants lost to the Bears and the Cowboys and the Broncos when they all had higher than a 94.5% chance to win those games. Grok told me this equates to roughly a 1 in 298,686 chance, equivalent to flipping a coin and getting tails about 18 times in a row. You know how hard that is? Anyone that can film themselves on a video flipping a coin and landing on heads or tails 18 times in a row, we will post it as a video on this channel. Just like winning is contagious, like it was for the first 9 games of the Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen era, losing is much more contagious. And it sticks, and it lingers, and there is no real cure for it. Once you are infected by losing to the degree that the New York Giants lose football games, there's only one way to disinfect it. It's by cleaning house. It's by firing everyone. It's by getting the losing stench out of the building at 1925 Giants Drive. This front office needs to be disinfected. This coaching staff needs to be disinfected. Because right now, the Giants are suffering from a losing disease that they cannot find a cure for. They have the worst record in the NFL in the last 10 years. They have the worst record, the 4th worst record in the NFL since Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen took over. There is no evidence that suggests that Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll can turn this around. So why do they still have jobs? Everyone watching that game yesterday felt at some point, here we go again. We're going to lose another game in another heartbreaking fashion. The feeling of losing has become inevitable with this franchise. And until you make changes, John Mara, you are telling your fan base that the product that you are putting on the football field is A-OK. And that is unacceptable for New York Giants fans. It's unreal. It is unreal how far this once great organization has fallen. We now go into games when we build a 10-point lead and we expect to lose. And John Mara is telling you, guys, this is what you get. It's okay with us because we're still going to employ Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll. A joke. That is what the New York Giants have become. A blue blood franchise is now the joke of the NFL. It's unreal. It's unreal. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel because if and when the Giants do make major changes, we'll be the first channel on YouTube that is live. We're also on our way to 100,000 subscribers, and we need your help to get there. If you love the Giants, you want to see this thing turn around, subscribe to the channel. Be one of the 3,373 people that helps New York Giants Now by Chat Sports get to 100,000 subscribers. Coming up next, we got a little bit of an update on Jaxson Dart, when he could potentially return, how the New York Giants are handling concussions this year, and I'm going to tell you why the Giants should either A, cut Russell Wilson, or B, bench him. First, though, I want to tell you guys about this awesome deal. The holiday season is here. When you go to chatsports.com/NYG shirt, that's chatsports.com/NYG shirt, and you use that code TURF, this shirt, which was $40, you can get it for $26. A major deal. Take advantage of the deal. All right, so we know Jaxson Dart left the game with a concussion, and I think there is a legit chance that he misses the game this week. I know there's been a lot of people that have hit me up. There's a lot of talking right now on Twitter that Brian Daboll is the one to blame for this. No, he's not. Jaxson Dart had 6 carries yesterday, and he slid 2 times. The most he had slid, I believe, so far this year. It was a fluke play. He got the concussion on the play that he fumbled the ball into the air. He reached forward to grab it, and his head hit the turf. He didn't get a concussion because he got lit up. He didn't get a concussion because it was head-to-head contact. He didn't get a concussion because he ran the football. He got a concussion because his head hit the frozen turf at Soldier Field. I know I've seen some people say, well, he's not Josh Allen. He can't run the football. The frozen ground and turf, they don't care how tall you are. They don't care how much you weigh. I'll say this. I think Jaxson Dart should wear a Guardian cap going forward because I don't want to neuter him. Because having him stop running and having him stop creating and being Jaxson Dart, that's going to limit who he is. When you get in the passenger seat of a race car, you don't complain that you're racing. And Jaxson Dart, he's a race car. He's going to go fast. He's going to do what he does best. That's why he's in this position. So, no, I wouldn't do anything different about the way he is being coached. I think there's been some moments. They've been some dumb coaching decisions, down multiple touchdowns, and we're running Jaxson Dart at the goal line. I had no problem with the usage, the way that he was used yesterday. I did some research, and the Giants this year, every player that has suffered a concussion this season has missed that next game. They have missed at least one football game. And look, I'm not a doctor, obviously. I don't know how serious concussions can be just off initial sight, but Jaxson Dart was out cold on the ground yesterday. He fumbled the football. He didn't even try to react and grab the football. He just laid there and was out cold. So prayers for him, wishing him a speedy recovery, but the Giants should not rush him back. If he has to miss a game, if he has to miss multiple games, let him do it. Because the most important thing at this point is Jaxson Dart, the person, the man, being healthy and able to live a normal life more so than being the quarterback for the New York Giants. Which means you're probably going to have a backup quarterback play this week and maybe coming weeks. It cannot be Russell Wilson. This is a quarterback that is going to be a Hall of Famer, deservedly so. 10-time Pro Bowler, was a starter this year. When he was out there, he looked like an undrafted free agent that got called up from the practice squad. You neutered your offense. You stopped throwing the football. You did not trust a 10-plus year veteran to make plays. Why is he still on the football team? He should not be the backup quarterback going forward. It should be Jameis Winston. I feel that if Jameis Winston was the quarterback that went in the game following the Jaxson Dart injury, the New York Giants would have won that football game. Because I think you have more of an opportunity to score around the goal line, and you have more of an opportunity to convert a touchdown on that game-winning drive. Do I think Jameis Winston is a long-term answer? No. But he thrives in a situation like yesterday more than Russell Wilson. He's been doing it for the latter half of his career. A spot player. Go in on the spot and be successful. Winston does that better than Wilson. I think at this point he's just a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. I'll ask you, if Jaxson Dart has to miss a game or games, who should be the starting quarterback for the Giants? Is it Russ? Is it Jameis? Type the jersey number of the player you want to see under center. And make sure you are following me on social media. When we get an update about Dart, an update about this coaching staff, the first spot you will find it is on my socials. Give me a follow, Twitter, IG, @MarshallGreen_.